summer of 1789 crackled with tension. Across France, fear, hunger, and fury simmered under the weight of a crumbling monarchy. Bread prices soared, the government coffers were empty, and whispers of revolt echoed through the countryside. But no one yet grasped that the world was about to shift, that a single storming of a prison would ignite a revolution that would topple centuries of monarchy and alter the course of global history. King Louis XVI ruled a kingdom drowning in debt, while his court at Versailles seemed oblivious. Nobles danced and dined, spending fortunes on fashion and entertainment. Meanwhile, the common people of France, the Third Estate, toiled under unbearable taxes. Nobles paid none, the church paid little, the people paid everything. The Enlightenment had struck its match. Thinkers like Rousseau, Voltaire, and Montesquieu inspired ordinary citizens to ask dangerous questions. Why does the king rule by divine right? Why are the rich exempt from justice and the poor crushed beneath it? Revolution wasn't a goal, it became a necessity. In May 1789, Louis summoned the Estates General, a meeting of all three estates, to address the economic crisis. It hadn't convened in 175 years, but the Third Estate, the vast majority of France's population, quickly realized they were nothing more than a political decoration. Outnumbered and ignored, they broke away and declared themselves the National Assembly. The revolution had officially begun. On July 14, 1789, Parisians stormed the Bastille prison, a symbol of royal tyranny. The building held only 7 prisoners, but that didn't matter. The Bastille was power, the Bastille was fear, and now it was rubble. Across France, peasants rose up, torching feudal manners and demanding justice. The Great Fear swept the countryside. Just weeks later, the National Assembly issued one of the most radical documents in human history, the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. Men are born and remain free and equal in rights, it proclaimed. Liberty, property, security, resistance to oppression. These were no longer theories, they were demands. In October, thousands of women, many carrying their children, marched from Paris to Versailles, demanding bread and justice. They dragged the king and queen back to Paris, effectively ending the monarchy's isolation. The royals were now prisoners of the people. Louis XVI tried to flee in 1791, disguised as a servant, but he was recognized, captured, and returned to Paris in disgrace. Any illusion that he might remain a constitutional monarch vanished. The revolution grew more radical, more dangerous, and more inevitable. By 1793, King Louis was put on trial for treason. His execution by guillotine shocked Europe. A few months later, Queen Marie Antoinette followed him to the scaffold. Royalty, once worshipped, now fell before the judgment of the people. With monarchy abolished, a new power struggle erupted. The revolution turned on itself. The Jacobins, led by Maximilien Robespierre, took control. Their vision, a republic of virtue. Their tool, the guillotine. Enemies of the revolution, real or imagined, were purged in what became known as the Reign of Terror. The radicals remade society entirely. Churches were closed, a new calendar invented, and religion replaced with the cult of reason. Sundays were eliminated, months renamed. Even time was restructured. France was not just changing leadership, it was trying to erase the past itself. Robespierre believed terror was justice, but by 1794, the bloodshed had become unbearable. Over 17,000 people had been officially executed, thousands more died in prison. The revolution that promised liberty now devoured its own children. Robespierre was arrested and executed, to the cheers of a people exhausted by fear. Out of the wreckage emerged a new figure, Napoleon Bonaparte, a military genius who saw opportunity in the disorder. In 1799, he seized power in a coup d'etat, ending the revolution. He crowned himself emperor 5 years later. The revolution had ended not in a republic, but in a new empire. Yet the French Revolution never truly died. Its ideals, liberty, equality, fraternity, ignited revolutions across Europe and the Americas. Monarchies trembled, serfs rose, slaves rebelled. Even centuries later, the French Revolution remains the blueprint for breaking chains and challenging power. The echoes of 1789 still resonate today. Democratic values, civil rights, and the idea that rulers serve the people, not the other way around. These are the revolution's true legacy. Though blood was spilled and mistakes were made, the call for justice reshaped our world. From Bastille's crumbling stones to the roar of the guillotine, the French Revolution was not just about toppling a king, it was about redefining what it means to be free. The path was brutal, but it forged a new political reality. not just for France, but for all humanity. This has been Footprints of History, where the past leaves its mark on the present. If you enjoyed this journey through revolution and transformation, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And remember, history isn't just behind us, it's beneath our feet, shaping every step forward.